Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of having a Facebook page for your Etsy business or your other platforms, whether you do on Gumroad or wherever else. One of the things that I see a lot of creators doing is depending solely on Etsy or Gumroad, those platforms that you actually post on, as being their entire entity as far as their store goes. And the reason that I feel like you need to diversify a little bit and get some things and build towards having your own space and driving traffic to that space and then to Etsy if possible, then in case something happens. Because let me just explain. Okay, so if all of your efforts are in Etsy and then they shut your store down and you have no way to communicate with your clients and customers that you have built up over the years, then is when you become in trouble. You can't really recover from that because there's no way to go back and communicate to those people. However, if you have at least a face, now same thing can happen with Facebook. They can shut you down. So what you ultimately want to do is have multiple um, ways that you can communicate with the people who are already buying from you. um, these efforts will also help you in creating new customers, because you can then, you can collect the ones you're already getting, but also having some of these things will give you multiple places that people can find you. And we know that, so we all stumble upon things. So having these different avenues that kind of work together as a hub. So ultimately, you should try, when you are where you can, to get a website and make that something that you can control very easily. I don't like it when people try to depend on other people to set their things up, because I've seen that work really poorly in the past, because that person sets it up and then you lose control of it. So if they decide to stop doing things, you don't know how to edit, you don't know how to do things. So it's better to have a very simple presence that you control than a very complicated one that someone else controls. And even if you're doing nothing but using it as a almost like a link page, the link trees and stuff like that. Even if you've got something like that you can send people to, just a one page little website thing that just tells about what you're trying to do, is better than not having anything. And it's also sort of a place that you can, like, for instance, I do videos. And, right now I have a lot of links going, from my videos going to different places, going to Etsy, going to Gumroad. But I do have my videos, which allows me to communicate with people in case something goes wrong. I'll use an example. When Etsy changed um, their criteria, their standards, their creativity standards for the platform, I got caught up with my junk journal playbook. And the only reason it got flagged, because it didn't go against the standards, but in my title, I used the phrase prompt guide. And that was one that apparently had been programmed in to be flagged. And they thought it was just a book of prompts, that it wasn't an educational tool that it is. And none of my other playbooks have ever been flagged because I did not use that phrase in any of them. So, but that phrase had them delete it from the platform or remove it from the platform. It's sitting in one of my folders now. And I had a choice to make: either give up, because that was real popular, it had just become a bestseller, or I could explore a different delivery mechanism for that particular playbook. And so I had already started, had a store set up on Gumroad. I didn't have anything in it, but it was on Gumroad. And, they work a little differently, but very similarly to Etsy. And I was able to move that product over there. And in the process, I discovered that it solved a problem for me with being able to sell to the EU again, because they had in their documentation that they were now a merchant of record, which works a little differently than the way that Etsy treats that whole thing and puts it all on the sellers to be compliant and everything. Gumroad works differently, so they take on the responsibility of that, from the documentation that I had read. So it enabled me to list all of my playbooks over there, and my listing, um, packet, whatever you want to call it, my prompt keeper, those items over there. And I'm going to now begin moving also a lot of my clip art and my invitations over there as well, just because it's there and it is performing. People are finding it on Gumroad. And it gave me another stream of income, basically, because my sales increased, because not only did I recapture the EU market for my playbooks, but also I'm selling some just off the platform over there. And, I've been really surprised. I'm not doing as much on Gumroad as I do on Etsy, but it's definitely very good supplemental to what I'm doing on Etsy. So just another stream of income. So what I want all of you to be thinking about is the business that you're in and how you are going to safeguard that business and not get caught up in all of this where Etsy changes something and then they dictate to you, because it is their platform and they can make changes anytime they want, and they can decide, and they have for certain businesses, when they came out with new creativity standards, disappeared off the platform because what they were selling was not allowed anymore. So if you really care about your business, then these are some steps you can do. So one of the first simple steps you can do is, it's free, but it will allow you to start building a little bit, and you can utilize it for a lot of different things. But I prefer starting with a page because that's open to the public. It doesn't have all those groups. A person has to decide to ask to go into your group, or you invite people into your group. But because it is a little bit more gatekeeping, I like to think of a page as being more like a public billboard type of a thing, a way that people can just kind of float in, float out, but it also gives you a place that you can share from. So, for instance, and let me just show you, I have one, and I'm going to be really honest with you to tell you that I haven't done a whole lot. I mean, I have 191 followers, for the page, and I don't keep it up the way I should, but it is there. And I actually do have, a lot of, let me take that away. I have a lot of people that find me here, and really it's almost very static because I don't update it like I should. I've just sort of been pretty busy with all the other stuff, but it does have a place. You can do reels. People can review you. You can, of course, add photos. Um, if people mention you or whatever. So anyway, this is my demo here for my Trotter's Lane Treasures and Design It with Tammie Gibbs. So this is fairly simple to set up, but let me just show you why. Okay, so Facebook's rules say that your regular profile, which is the thing that you talk to your family and friends on, it's the thing that most of us creators we're not necessarily friends with each other. We belong to groups together. Some of us become friends in that manner where our personal pages are used. But let's just say you want to be able to communicate with you have something your general, local friends or people that you know would be interested in. For instance, I have invitations and things like that I would like to share when I do something new. They can still buy it through Etsy, but to let them be aware of it. Okay. So this is how that works. So let's just say that I wanted to share this package here. What I would do is I can actually come in and I can share it to a group. So see, I can share this into my groups, or I can share it just on my profile page, which is where I would do it here. And you can also share it to other of your own pages. Like if you're the administrator over, any of these pages, then you can share it to all of your other pages. Like if you had a page for junk journaling and you had one for cards, or and you wanted to share your clip art to both, then you could do that as well. So this is now it says you're commenting as Tammie Clark Gibbs. Okay. So, and that's the way I would probably want to do it. But you can actually share into your private personal profile. Now, Facebook has some pretty serious rules in regards to, they don't really want you to use your personal page, your personal friend page, as a commercial thing. But if you can share to it, and that's sort of a little workaround. I wouldn't do it a lot because you don't want to, get kicked off of Facebook. But, the occasional share to your profile is better than you just going on there and making a post, if that makes sense. It also allows you to, and I'll go back over here, you can, I'm going to switch into it now and show you what it looks like. Now that I'm inside my page, I can manage the page, and it will allow me to see insights. So then you can kind of see what your insights. Now I haven't shared anything in a long time, so I wouldn't expect it to. Let's see if I can go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back in, and I'm going to go out of this and back to here. My sweet grandbabies. And I'm going to go in to show you some of my other pages. Let's see. Where I can really show you what it looks like. We'll try this one. Okay, so this is my author page. So let me just go into there. And we'll dig a little deeper into the insights. Okay. So basically you get insights here on, who are the followers and the non-followers. So this one particularly is getting more interaction from non-followers than the followers, which is actually good. That's kind of what you want to do. And let's go back a little ways and see what else has been going on. So you can see your little, when you get some interaction. And this one, literally, I have not posted anything new in a very, very long time, which is why it's showing this. So, out of the insights, have notifications. But it gives you all of this. So this gives you something you can look at and something that you can, like, for instance, this post has gotten 412 views and 7 interactions. It'll show you which post, and I haven't had any in a lifetime. Let's see, let's at these. Okay. Shows you what the reach is. So you can kind of go and scroll through. Haven't published any posts, so there's filters and everything. So, but what this serves and how you want to use it is going to be dependent on, go back to the Trotter's Lane Treasures. And use it as a billboard. Now, what you can do until you get something else set up, like you get a website to send people to, you can use this as a way to, use this on all your social media. I mean, all of your, add it to everything. Add it to your download documents so that people can begin to follow you and start developing, sort of a customer base or whatever through this. This is a way that people can find you depending on, how much you want to put into it. You can add all sorts of things to it. I have other vehicles, so, this is just one of many places that, like, for instance, the other day I had someone that had contacted me through this page that was wanting to purchase something, wanting to purchase one of my playbooks. And, they couldn't find me anywhere else. And they managed to stumble across my Trotter's Lane Treasures Facebook page. And that's the way that they messaged me. So you never know, putting out more places for people to get into contact with you is better. But it's not hard to do. I'm going to go back into my main profile, and I'm just going to kind of show you over here how to do it. So you would just go over under pages. It's real simple. And like I said, this is kind of just a first step, just to give you one more place that you can begin to develop. You could do a lot of things with this. You could do a newsletter that you market through this, a free newsletter. You could give away freebies through it. You can invite people to it, all the friends from your groups. You can invite them to your page, use it instead of just sharing your Etsy shop, share your page. And then from your page, you can share your Etsy shop and more about your Etsy shop. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. So, okay, these are already some of the pages that I have. And I have actually a lot of pages that they've actually deactivated that weren't active. So from this page, you can actually create a new profile or page. So this is a personal profile. Create another profile, get a new name and feed, choose who you connect to. This is new. And this is the upgrade existing profile. This is where I can turn on the professional mode if I wanted to on my main profile page, which I don't want to at this moment. It says compare options. So this is what you can do with each thing. Okay, so if you have a separate name, you can engage with others using a different name. So it's a personal profile, public page. You can do that with both. You aren't able to do this with the pro mode. You can connect with friends on decide who you friend and who can see your post under the personal and the pro mode. You get basic tools like creating ads and monetizing on a public page. You can't do that through your profile. You have to have a page to create ads and view insights. You can do it now if you do have pro mode enabled on your personal friends page, which I said I don't have, then you could do that with the pro mode or the public page. And then your advanced tools like your ad features and shops is all available on a public page. And then shared access, you can actually assign access to others to manage ads and content. So this is kind of the comparison of what the Facebook personal profile, public page, and pro modes have. So you would be clicking here, and then it's going to say use advanced professional tools, assign, it tells you all those things again, and then get started. So we do get started, and then basically this is it. You just start naming your page, you name your category, your bio. You just walk through the steps that they, give you to set up for. And, just like you did with your other pages, I'm not going to set one up because I have a whole bunch of them now. So, but it's so simple, and that's how you find it. You just go under pages and go to create new profile or page. Just make sure that probably you want to do this one, unless you just want another personal profile, which I didn't even know they offered that. But they do apparently. So that's kind of cool. I'll have to figure out ways to use that, but that's how simple it is. Now let's talk about a few other things, not just Facebook, but go out of there and let's go to Blogger. For a long time, I had a Blogger site, and it was free. So you can literally create your blog here. And I'm just going to do it under here. Okay. So you can basically set up a blog. Actually, this is one that I already have several that are set up. So okay, this is an old one. Let's see if I can view blog. So this is a blog that I had set up many years ago. So you can work with a blog. This one I don't have set up yet. But it's fairly simple to figure out. It's another free thing that you can use. You can actually go to Blogger also. And trying to get you to see the actual interface there. Let's see. There are lots of how-tos on how to do that. One thing about since Blogger is set up is part of Google. So the the reason that it can get you some good SEO by doing something here, even again, if you only set it up as more of a portal for you. Now, I will say Blogger's been around a long time, and even you saw even a lot of the old blogs that I used to be very active on are still there. They still actually can get attention. I'm gonna do a little Google search and we're gonna play around with it. Okay, so Tammie. Okay, so you'll see all the different. This is a really cool thing to do too, is go into Google and Google your name and see what different places, how many places you reach. So you see my Facebook and all my things. And then you also see, of course, YouTube is tied to Google. So you can see that it's even picking up my Design It with Tammie Gibbs stuff. Just curious about that. But you will see, this is sort of an example from my author stuff at all the different places that I have that are still out there that basically people can find me. So what you want to do is replicate that with your business. You see a lot of that. And you'll see that, with my Design It, my channel is right there. If somebody were to search my name, it would be easy enough for them to find me. Here's my Gumroad. You see there. LinkedIn profiles. Lots of, you see how Google, this is sort of an example. I haven't done a lot with the Blogger lately, and the Blogger would be not necessarily the older instances. But you see how YouTube, when you do the video, I do my videos, how YouTube is immediately pops up in the searches. Okay, so here's a Blogger entry. Now, mind you, I have not posted on Blogger in a very long time, but here that picked up on the search as well. Now, some of these we're getting into people that are not me. Okay, so that just goes to show you. Okay, that's just on that, So then if you go to Tammie Gibbs, you're going to see my real estate stuff, and you're going to see the YouTube stuff. But isn't that funny? So depending on what you're searching, and you see the videos that come up under Tammie Gibbs, because I don't use the Clark in those as well as, much. You can see images, and then you can also begin to see some of this. And then you find my Etsy. And this is actually one of my products. And then also you see the Blogger, which again has been so long ago. So these are like little billboards. So Google your name, Google your store name, Google the things to see how you show up and how many times and where you're showing up. And then see, all of this is my Facebook with my Design It. Here's my real estate. Here's my website or a page from my website, basically, for my writing. Really cool. And then just a whole, I think I just saw on this is not my obituary, by the way. You find some really crazy things. And then Pinterest. So, those are ways that people can find you. And this is all about visibility and exposure. So you can tell I've been around for a while with lots of different things. So we've got, let's see, the real estate, we've got my writing, and then we've got the we've got the design it and the Etsy and digital creation stuff. Here's my Trotter's Lane Treasures, another obituary that's not me. That's funny. It's funny because not many times do you see my name spelled that way. Very interesting. Okay, so now let's do my design it. And see the places that would show up. And you see YouTube, Facebook, or so this is just a really interesting exercise for you to try. To see again, bloggers coming up. So, the sooner you get started with some of this stuff, the more likely. Another thing you can do when you have a blog is find other people with blogs that are well received, make friends in that community. I did that when I was marketing my fiction books. And we would do blog swaps, where I would write a blog that was of interest to their audience. And you can do that with newsletters too, by the way. That's just another little thing you can use. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, let's see, I'm going to just do Artistly AI and see if by any chance anything pops up. Yep, there I am. These are some of my older ones, which have been around for a long time, but I think one may be even there's another one. So you see that, this is under Artistly, the big, the company. But because I have so many videos and things, when people are searching for Artistly, they are going to be connected with me. If they scroll down very far and are looking for tutorials. Let's do Artistly videos. And see, I'm right here. Let's see, how far down? And who am I? There's 173 million results for this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am the 10th one down here. That's pretty awesome, I think. And here I am again. And you see that this is probably helping me get views. But anyway, and then let's just say I did the design at Trotter's Lane Treasures. Not sure if that one will have very much. Oh, I'm under videos. Never mind. Don't want to be under AI mode. Let's go to all. Okay, so if somebody searches for Trotter's Lane Treasures, my stuff comes up immediately. So that's pretty awesome. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for being able, see, this is under Instagram. And then, no, that's not me. And there's not a lot of results, but I do come up. So I guess search your store name and see if you actually come up. And that's a really good exercise for you. But you can see that this is showing up. If you go to the images, you see all the images that pop up with connected, like with my shop. So these are all these products. So if somebody just happened to type that in, then they could, you know. Now, I'm just curious, and I haven't done this, so this is kind of fun for me. Wow, I actually have an AI overview. How cool is that? The AI Artist Playbook is a comprehensive guide for creating AI generated art designed for digital creators, artists, and designers. It teaches users to generate unique artwork and clip art by covering various techniques, styles, and prompting methods, and includes resources like word banks, prompt templates, and troubleshooting tips. The digital version is updated regularly and provides free feature updates to purchasers with a print version planned for the future. Well, now that's not exactly true. I don't know where it got that from, but there are no updates. I just put out new books. But anyway, this is really pretty cool. And they even have one of my videos attached to it. Wow. Is that not very cool that on Google, the AI literally knew enough about me to put together an AI overview of the AI Artist Playbook? Y'all, that's pretty cool. Whoops, where did I go? Okay, so let's go down and see what else is down here. So, okay, videos. That's not mine. Okay, so that's something else. Maker Academy. But out of all of these different ones that kind of flag for playbooks, like art playbooks and stuff like that, all these different ones, it actually up here returned mine overall. If somebody searched for the AI Artist Playbook or whatever, that's what came up. So that's good market penetration, I guess you could say. And then over here is really cool because it does have like the shopping stuff, these little bonus little thing that popped up over here, which is really cool. And then images. Well, let's see. These are mine. All those are mine. That's mine. Those are all mine. So that's really pretty doggone cool. And it just means that you can do it with your products as well. You can make a flagship product. You can get your shop Googleable. You don't have to pay for any of that. That's all organic. And any, if somebody searches and that pops up and they click through to it, then and it's from you, then that's organic traffic. That's you sending them to those places, On Pinterest, I haven't done a whole lot on Pinterest, to be honest with you. I'm beginning to work more I have in the past with a lot of my other stuff, y'all. It's just between making the videos and trying to help you guys. It's really a little bit difficult for me to get in and get around everything I know to do. But anyway, so if you search me, that's pretty good. I've still got some stuff coming up. I'm trying to think. So where else should I show you? Okay, so Blogger's really good. That doesn't cost anything. And I don't know why I do not plug my computer up when I'm doing a video, but I don't. Sorry about that. Okay, so Blogger's really good. Do your Facebook page. If you want to jump ahead and don't want to wait on my videos to really get into the visibility and marketing of your shop and try to drive more traffic, it's kind of like this. Okay, so when I had my brick and mortar store, my gift shop, if it ever got slow, I would put a costume on and I would walk the street with a bunch of balloons. And then people would notice me and then my business would pick up. So it's kind of like this. If you are in a slump, you're not getting what you should traffic wise, you feel like it's really slow on Etsy, go out. Do not sit there and wait. Go out and find other ways to bring business into your shop. Use them as a payment portal. Go out, find some local businesses that can use your products or services that you can find or develop something for them. Go out. Don't sit there and wait for the business to come to you. It's just as easy for you to go out and find the business. Now, however you do it, you need to be doing something. Set aside 2 hours a week. You do all this designing and all these products are created and they're just sitting on the shelves, then set aside 2 hours a week to go out, get active in groups, get your stuff out there whichever way you can. And that is so important for you to realize that you are not helpless in this. You're not helpless. You just have to be more creative and you have to allow yourself the time. Don't feel like you're not doing something when you're doing marketing because you are doing the most important thing. It doesn't matter how good your product is if you're not marketing it, and SEO alone is not going to do it. SEO is not going to do it. To be honest, all of those things I just showed you on Google, all those places like that, that was not SEO alone. That was organically built over a long period of time. That was consistency. All those videos that are on Google now, that when people Google for certain things, those things are organically grown. And that's what I need for you to understand is that today is the day to start. Not tomorrow, not next month, not next year. If you want to get steady traffic, if you want to get steady sales, you're going to have to sooner or later you're going to have to address the business aspects of digital product creation. It's not all about art. And it's kind of like this. If you're not good at it and your husband is or your wife is, then delegate that part of it to them and say, listen, will you help me with this? Will you help me to do this? But a creator that can also, if you're really creative anyway, it's not that hard to be creative in marketing. The same people that are, and I know there is a disconnect. There is the people who do the artsy things and then those who market. But those who market have to do artsy things too. So it's not that hard, but it is. I know that there's a disconnect with it. I know that inside the writing community as an author, with self-published and even people that were published by, big mainstream publishing companies, but we're not on the fast track to get all the publishing company promo stuff, because if you get published the traditional way and you're not a Nora Roberts or, one of the big names, then you're not going to get a marketing budget. Anything you market's going to be your own stuff that you're going to be doing yourself. And there's a huge disconnect in that industry, just like there is with digital product creation. We think that just because we are creating the products, that this other part of the equation is not necessary, but it is. And so many stores on Etsy, on Gumroad, on these other platforms are depending solely on what Etsy gives them. Don't wait on someone to give you something. Set yourself up, do good SEO, let it sit and work. And then you go out and you develop and build your brand. Go out and find ways to do that. Be creative. Use the same creativity that you put into your products into creating things that are going to drive traffic and sales to you. And I guess I'm going to try to gradually start stepping off the soapbox now, but it really does stress me to see so many wonderful, talented people that watch me, that are part of my group, and that I meet online in different various capacities, feeling so helpless to Etsy and its algorithm, because although it is there, the really only way that you can impact that in a bigger way than just, SEO is SEO. And if you've got great SEO and there are thousands of people that also have great SEO, you're still right back in the same spot that you would be if you had bad SEO. You're not getting seen. So just because you have good SEO does not mean that you're going to be in the top, return of search results. And then, even if people do find you and do land on your page, if your page is not, or your shop is not set up for visitors, if you haven't put your best foot forward in your actual presentation of your products, as well as the products themselves, if you don't have good mock-ups, if your products are sloppy, then you're not competing properly with your competition, and someone will buy your competition over buying your products. So that's why this is this is a wheel that turns, that has many spokes and many components that when you first get into this business, you don't realize. And they don't have to be complicated. I don't want to overwhelm you, because the simple fact is you just have to do something, and not depend on Etsy, not depend on Gumroad, not depend on their internal engines, when you have the ability to go out and present your products to the public in many different ways. And that's just all I want to do, is give you some different ways and some different things to think on. And I hope that this video has been really helpful. I just had a new playbook that I just released that will help you if you're having trouble with creating products and you don't want to do the same thing everybody else is doing. So you're really looking for that flagship product and how you can take an idea and expand it. And it's called it's called the Profitable Products Playbook. And it was just released this week. Of course, I don't know when you're watching this video, but anyway, it was released yesterday, 10/17 of 25. But anyway, if you're watching this later, all this information is still, it's green information. And unless they change something a lot, these concepts still will work for you. So just want you to do well. And I want to share the things that I've learned over a long time. I won't tell you how long, because that would date me. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that you will implement some of these things. My digital product creators playbook, the one on visibility and traffic, you need that book. It's not really super expensive, and it also has my 8 hour to jumpstart that is really good. It takes 8 hours and it gives you tasks for each hour so that you can start to build your organic visibility. So it's going to have a lot of those steps in there. So anyway, be sure and check out all of the playbooks, and all of my links are down in the description. If you don't have Artistly, consider it. Go back and watch some of my videos and use my link. And I thank you so much for watching, and have a great day and happy creating.